There once lived a man and a woman. The man's name was Richard, and the woman's name was Holly. One day, Holly and Richard were walking in the park. Holly was sad because she never even had any love. She never even had a boyfriend in her past. But Richard has, well, girlfriend. But when he laid eyes on Holly, and Holly laid eyes on him, it was love at first sight. 5 months later, they got married and came back to the park just to have a little memory. Holly said she needed to go to the bathroom, so she went. Richard pulled up one of the benches and sat down, of course. Five hours later, she said she needed to come home right now. Richard asked why. She just said it was complicated. He actually started to worry. But when he got home, he felt more happy. Holly smiled at Richard, and Richard smiled at Holly. Holly looked really troubled. Richard started to worry again. He asked what was wrong, but Holly wouldn't say. So, 4 hours later, Holly said she was going to go to bed because she was really tired. They kissed each other goodnight, and Holly went to bed. If you're wondering why they have a second bed, well, it's because they're planning to have a baby, but Holly couldn't have a baby, so that's probably why she was all sad. At least that's what Richard thought. They didn't have enough money to replace it, so what the heck, they'll just keep it. When Richard was watching the news, he was thinking about something. But then, he fell asleep. When he woke up, 30 minutes later, he turned off the lights. The lights were still on, and he kind of wondered why. He was very puzzled, and he had no clue what was happening. But then he just remembered he bought a light from eBay that was pretty big. After turning the ginormous lights off, he decided to fall asleep on the couch. He pulled a blanket from his bed and just got to sleep. Overnight, someone broke in the house. Sadly, Richard didn't hear a thing. If you're wondering who it was, just take a little guess. Now, if you said an upset girlfriend, an ex-girlfriend, well, you were right. It was his ex-girlfriend, Megan. Megan was upset. She loved Richard more than anything. But Richard loved But Richard loved Holly even more. Megan didn't want to kill Richard. She didn't know if she was ready for that. So she stabbed Holly in the chest 3 times. Yes, I know she used a hairbrush, but that was the only thing she could find. After killing Holly, something horrible happened. Richard woke up. He freaked out. He found out that Holly was dead. They started beating each other up. But then Megan won in the end. She was going to kill Richard. But before she could, the police came. It was too late. Richard was knocked out. But he still remembered everything. After the horrible night and Holly's body was removed, and after crying his eyes out, Richard, he promised himself to kill anybody who comes in his house. And that means anybody, even his own family. That's how much he loved Holly. Holly Hills. After the news, he decided to go out and look for Megan. But Megan's boyfriend thought that Richard was trying to, be her boyfriend. So Jason, the boyfriend, popped out of nowhere and beaten up Richard. And then, after Richard screaming to death, Megan popped out of nowhere. And before you can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Richard was killed. With bloody paws, they went back home. After that day, they never took out Richard's body, so something even horrible happened. Lights flickered. The house shook. And he awoken. Well, his soul did. When he was, back to life, or back to his ghost form, he started writing in a book. He was so sad that his wife died and he was killed. He decided to start writing notes to random people. Or you can also say, start writing notes to his next victim. After working all day and night on the notes, he disappears into the night and goes to random people's houses. So he puts the note in their mailbox and goes home. The next morning, a little girl, or a teenage girl, named Callie, found the note. The note said something she would never forget. I'm watching you. Beware. And then there was another note attached to it. She read that note, and here's what it said. Dear whoever is reading this, my name is Richard Collins, and I have something for you at my house. Here's my address. If you don't come over, I will kill you and your family. Kisses from your old pal, Richard Collins. Callie was smart. She just threw away the note. And when her parents, and when she went to bed, Richard snuck into her house, flew into her house, and made her have a bad dream about Richard killing her. After the horrible dream, 2 hours later, Callie woke up and decided to go to his house. After walking through the doors, Richard had his revenge for once. Callie heard a big bang. She looked back, and all she saw was a table coming right at her. Callie was dead in seconds. Of course, Richard moved the body. He fixed his house. I mean, how a ghost would like it. From that day, the devils found out what he was doing. They took him underground. But then, the only thing that didn't leave his poor soul was the book of dead souls. Beware, the book will get you, because his soul still lives in it from this day. This is LPS Author. Thanks for watching.